Hi everyone, welcome back to the Divine Healing with Love channel. I am Nicole. I'm so grateful to have you here with me today. Welcome back to the capital LOVE tribe. Thank you all so much. I'm so grateful for all of your love, support, commenting, liking, subscribing, donations. I'm so grateful. Thank you all so much. So today I'm going to talk to you about my experience with what is being called the void. Okay, so this is going to be like a wild story. Just ride with me. I don't expect for you to understand all of this, I don't know, but I just want to share the story for you to be able to move forward in your journey, to understand the reason for protecting yourself energetically and how important it is to do these things. So to get started with the story, I want to also say, as I tell this story, like I said, it's pretty wild, but I'm going to try to explain it the best way I can. I'm still processing from that journey with this story, visiting the void. Okay, so I want to start off by saying I was not high or anything when this happened. Okay, I know I've talked about that on this channel before, but I was completely sober. So I want to also say that sometimes people think that you can only visit these places in the universe when you're under the influence, and that's not true. Okay, you can definitely go anywhere, anytime, whatever. So with the story, when I first really awakened and really got on my journey and got on my path, or was trying to get there, I started taking my healing more seriously and my awakening and that journey with that, finding more about myself and my soul and my purpose. So I was doing meditations like every single day. I was doing tarot and meditation like every day. So on this night, I happened to fall asleep meditating, which is something that you should not do. It's something that, because when you're meditating, you're really open. You're completely open. Your energetic field, your aura, you are very open. So you shouldn't fall asleep while you're meditating. You should, really be sitting up, really focus into it. And at that time when I was doing meditations, I wasn't doing like mindful meditations, just like focusing on the present moment and observing my thoughts. I wasn't really doing that. I was doing a lot of transcendental meditation, really transcending, to go deep and go into different parts of the universe, completely journeying during meditation. So, and I was I was still like a novice. I was still learning. I didn't understand like how you're so open and all of those things. So anyway, I fell asleep during meditation. So when you fall asleep, it's just like with a dream, you just end up somewhere, you don't know how you got there. So I wake up, or in my dream state, whatever, the meditative state, I wake up and it's just extremely dark, and I'm laying down, and it almost looked like it was just very dark, but it was like a city simulation, but it's just extremely dark. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, so it's so dark, but I am light. I'm completely light. Like, I'm luminescent. I'm reflecting so much light. So I stand up and I just see all these souls just floating. These souls are just moving, and they're moving very aimlessly, just lost souls. It's just dark, it's just darkness, and lost souls are just floating, no purpose. So when I stand up, a soul comes over to me, and a soul says, "What are you doing here?" And I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, where am I? I don't even know where I am right now. So the soul is just like, you're not supposed to be here. And I said, like, why? Why am I not supposed to be here? Next thing you know, I fall down to the ground, and again, like I said, I'm light in all of this darkness. Okay, so, and at this point I didn't know about putting myself in an energetic bubble of protection before I even start meditation or before I go to sleep and things like that. I didn't know anything about that. So like I said, I'm completely open. All of my light is just open. So the moment I fall down, this is where it gets really wild. If it's not already, it's already wild in my opinion, but this is really where it gets wild. It's like outer body now. The moment I fall down, I see myself in my bedroom, you know, present physical, you know, 3D reality or whatever, physical reality. I'm looking at myself in my bedroom in the bed, and I could see myself just kind of like trying to, like, it felt, I could see myself, but then I also felt myself. Again, very trippy, very outer body experience, and I was not high. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to move, but it felt like a weight. This is all happening at the same time, okay? I want you to like try to understand, like, I'm seeing myself, looking at myself in the bed, but I also feel myself in the bed, and then I can also see myself in the void. So as I feel myself in the void, it's like I'm down on the ground and I can't move. And it's like in my bed, I feel like a weight, like I just can't even move. Like I'm trying to, like I could barely shift. But then I'm also watching myself, okay? Ride with me, I know it's wild. So after that, I'm back in the void. And like I said, I can't move. But from what I processed later on after doing the work around this is basically like these souls were like trying to take my light, like they were on me, you know, almost like The Walking Dead, like some zombies trying to, you know, eat the meat. So my inner child pops in the void and she's like, Nicole, you're not supposed to be here, you have to get up. So she's saying it very softly, very calmly, and I'm like, okay. So like I said, I try to move, but I can't. And I'm still seeing all these different things at the same time. Like I'm in my bed, like trying to move. I cannot move. It feels like bricks are on me, literally. That's how it felt. It felt like bricks were on my chest, on my body. I felt almost paralyzed, like I couldn't even move. So I'm like, I can't move. And she's just like, but you have to move, you have to go. Just so sweet. Like I said, I'm watching myself. I see myself standing up watching myself like, okay, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? My higher self comes in and my higher self starts yelling. And she's like, Nicole, get up. Get up, Nicole. You have to go. Get up. You have to go. You were not supposed to be here. You have to get up now. So she's like yelling. I mean, she wasn't really yelling, but it was very stern. It was loud. It was like, you have to go. You have to get up. Get up now. Go, go, go. So then, all of a sudden, I hop out. Like I jump. I'm jolted out of my bed. And when I'm jolted out of my bed, I don't have any form of consciousness. Like that was literally, I don't know how long it was, because I had no, when I say I had no form of consciousness, I literally mean I jumped up, I didn't know my name, I didn't know where I was, I didn't know the date, I didn't know anything. Like there was nothing processing, it was nothing in my brain. It was like no form of consciousness. I know that sounds wild. I guess it was a minute or two. Like I said, I don't know how long that was going on. I was just sitting up and I was thinking like nothing was happening. Okay, then my alarm went off, and once my alarm went off, then it started to come back. My consciousness started to come back. I was like, okay, my name's Nicole. Okay, I'm in my bedroom. Okay, I look at my phone, I see the time, I see the date. It slowly started to come back, and I was like, what just happened? I was completely, I mean, in a state of bewilderment, honestly, because I was like, what just happened? I don't even know what just happened. And I feel groggy, like I'm covered in sweat. Like for me now, I know if I'm astrally projecting, if I'm astrally traveling at night, I wake up wet, like covered in sweat, completely thirsty, so thirsty. I felt exhausted, but I had to get up and get going for work. But I was completely like, what just happened? So after that situation, it took me months to really reconcile what really happened there, because like I said, I had to process that. That was so just a wild story that I had to process what exactly happened. I didn't know where I was. Like I said, I didn't even know that was called the void. I saw other people talking about it on YouTube, and then I like I said, did some research, and I actually heard people talking about it on a podcast as well. But it took me months to even be able to process what had occurred, what I needed to learn from that, because it was so intense, it was so outer body, it was so much going on. Now with this story, and unfortunately that was not the only time I went to the void. Unfortunately, because I could be hard-headed, I've been a few times, and it was even worse than what it was this first time. Okay, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day, and I'm still processing that. And like I said, it was even wilder, even more out of control. It's like hell. Okay, that's really, like I could say I've been to hell. I mean, I had already felt like that, but yeah, that's really what it's like. So now after this happened, I cooled off of meditating, because it was just too wild, and I didn't even know what happened. So when I went back, and after I cooled off of meditating, I talked to my team, and of course they were upset with me, but they told me that they needed that to happen. They needed to let me experience that, because I had to learn how to protect myself energetically, because I was not protecting myself energetically. At the time I had like my crystals there or whatever, and I had saged myself and cleared the space, but that just was not enough. I had to go deeper with my practice of protection. That was not enough for me. So now I had to learn that I had to start doing visualizations. I had to physically ground myself, but also spiritually ground myself and protect myself. So there's physical grounding and protection that you need to do, which is having a spiritual bath, or being in nature and walking barefoot, and saging, and using different herbs and things like that to protect yourself. Okay, you do it physically, but you need to do it spiritually as well, because people can steal your light, your energy, spiritually manipulate you, get into your aura, get into your field. Dark entities attached to the light. Unfortunately, I was compromised in that situation by dark entities, because they were sucking on my light. They attached themselves to my chakras, and I had to get that cleared and all of that. But when you spiritually protect yourself, this is about visualizing yourself, grounding yourself. I'm going to tell you what I do. I always visualize myself being purified and cleared by the ocean water, okay, or a lake, but I usually do the ocean. I'm purified, I'm clear with the ocean. I visualize the light shining down, recharging me. I visualize myself walking barefoot on sand or on grass, and the light shining down, recharging all of my chakras and my energy. And then I walk myself into an energetic bubble. Now my energetic bubble is encased with gold. Gold is very important to me because it's connected to my ancestors and ancient ancestors. It represents love and protection for my ancestry, for my lineage. So I completely enclose my energetic bubble with gold. Okay, you can enclose it with whatever it is you want. Maybe it's just transparent. It could be enclosed with different crystals or stones or whatever you choose to do, or you could choose gold as well. Do what feels right for you. Do what you feel very connected with. Okay, I walk myself into my bubble, and then I lock it, and then now I'm energetically safe. Okay, so, and I also do it, if you have children, put your children in your bubble too. Okay, put them in your bubble too, because they're protected as well, because our teams, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, ancient ancestors, they make sure that the children are protected because they can't always, you know, they don't know how to do those things for themselves. But I don't always do it, but you know, when I go into that place, I put them in my bubble as well. So if you have children, put your children in your bubble as well to protect them. But spiritual protection and physical protection is very important when you're meditating. It doesn't even matter if you're not meditating or not. Just as you move throughout the day, do it in the morning and do it at night, even during the day sometime. If you forget, just try to get in the habit of doing it, because you don't want to, because a lot of us astrally project at night. We don't realize it, but we do. We travel to different places in the universe, different spaces, different dimensions, different timelines, okay? Whether we're visiting a past life or we're visiting childhood or wherever we are, we're visiting so many different places. We have to protect ourselves because we're full of light. And those dark entities are out there traveling. Like I said, the void, like honestly, I feel like I was at this place where I may not have come back. Like that's basically almost what that experience was kind of showing me. Like it was a choice almost. Like that's kind of like, that's basically what I was gathering from it. And the fact that I like lost consciousness like that, because other people said when they visited the void, they had to ask to come back. They had to ask to come back to earth. This is where a lot of souls get lost. It was so many, like when I tell you it was so many lost dark souls down there in the void, I'm not even joking. It was scary, like freakishly scary. I was like, oh my gosh. And they're just floating, lost, darkness. That's all it was, is darkness. So make sure you're protecting yourself. That's why I shared this story, because you know, because I was a little like, I don't know if I want to share this story, it's so wild, but I have to, because if you're doing this healing work, like I said, we are multi-dimensional beings. We're actually projecting, we don't even realize it. I was doing it as a child and I didn't know. I've been actually projecting even as a child, like I said, and I had no idea. And I'm not the only one. Other people are doing it as well. Some of us are conscious of it, some of us are not aware. Put yourself in this bubble. And this is just, it doesn't even matter if you're actually projecting or not. You just need to be put in that bubble, because like I said, spiritual manipulation is real. It's very real. People, listen, videos to come on that. My experience was with that. People stealing your energy. Energy is currency. It's more than money. People don't realize that. I think people are waking up to that now. There's so many people out here stealing energy, it's not even funny. And they're harvesting energy in different ways that's sick and awful. And I'm going to be talking about it because someone needs to speak up. You know, and I'm a leader and I'm trusting this journey, so I'm going to talk about it. So let's talk about this in the comments. If no one told you that they love you today, I love you. Please share the video, like the video, comment below, let me know how this resonated. Thank you all so much. I love you. Keep going. You got this. Keep loving yourself. Healing. We'll talk more soon. Bye.